Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Week 5's Thursday live eviction episode of Big Brother 28. Last time on Big Brother, players boogied down in the POV competition, and when Kamu won the veto, he decided his friends could choke when he left Haley and Chuck on the block against Barrett. Before I dive in, links in the description to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps and rankings. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and commenting what you thought of the episode. But let's dive into it, starting with our Thursday night tradition.
What's Julie wearing?
Ooh la la.
Exquisite.
Julie's wearing one of her finest summer dresses, a blue and white number that is my favorite thing she's worn all season. This kind of reminds me of her premiere dress she was kidnapped in by the mastermind in BB28, but this is the perfect outfit for Julie. Chef's kiss to the stylist, or stylist's kiss. In the game, we pick back up where we left off. After Kamu doesn't use the veto, Chuck is annoyed with Kamu. Chuck tells us that everyone in the house will pay for these sins. Scary stuff. The vibes from the voters is light. They love their lives with Haley on the block. Taylor calls Haley basically the devil, calling her Hades in confessional. Devins is loving Haley's chaos. He's thinking of keeping Haley to keep the attention off himself and the other icons. Fap also agree that Chuck should leave. Mallory knows that Chuck has been talking smack about how she eats cucumbers. Taylor tells us she's using her experience talking to third graders to talk to Chuck. She tells Chuck he's in deep doo-doo if he's on the block next to Barrett, but she can't break through to him. She calls him Big Brother for Dummies and tells us that Chuck's brain is so squeezed by his hat that information can't get to his head. You know the air is thick in that bathroom. He's stinking that place up in those little shorts. Oh, brother. Devins continues his campaign against Chuck, rallying Fap and the icons who all agree that Chuck stinks and Haley will remain a target if they keep her. In the kitchen, Angela is getting silly as Lala cooks. She decides that real hibachi is happening, doing a knife show, but things go Final Destination. At Angela's hibachi show, as the knife slips out of her hand and into the sky, everyone was marked safe from Angela's knife. Later, the newbie players meet in the HOH room. There's wine drunk Lala, Fap, and Yash. Lala starts this hangout, quickly suggesting they need to get the icons out of the game and nominate 2 icons next week next to Chuck. Lala tells them Devins is there just for fun, Angela's there for retribution, and Lala is shocked to hear that D won $1 million. Lala makes them promise to not speak a word of this meeting, but Barrett tells us Bear Rat is about to be activated. So Bear Rat rats this whole conversation out to the icons, throwing Lala under the bus. They've all decided this is enough of a reason to keep Haley to come back after Lala. Heading to the Blockbuster competition, Barrett, Chuck, and Haley will be playing Newton's Apples. They'll roll 5 apples up their ramp with the goal of landing them on their grass patch, then use their stones to knock the balls off their grass. The first player to do all of this and hit the buzzer will win their safety. They get started. They all suck at this at first, but Barrett gets to a lead. Haley is actually doing well, but keeps knocking her own balls off when she lands one, but Chuck really stinks at this. Haley does catch up and eventually pass Barrett, getting her 5 apples first and launching her stones. In the end, Haley wins the Thogbuster and her safety for the week. Julie pipes into the house. Everyone's in their pajamas, Drew in Mallory's pajamas. Julie reveals to them that Haley won the Blockbuster. Angela gives a big huggy poo. Lala is smiling from ear to ear. Fake! Speeches from nominees Barrett and Chuck. Barrett makes everyone laugh when he shouts out Mallory from BB28. Julie accuses Barrett of flirting, which was weird. Chuck survives his speech. He strings words together to form sentences. Public speaking is difficult. Players get to voting. Some highlights from the vote are Yash telling Julie her dress is nice pajamas. She says, thanks, fancy. Devin showing off his fresh cut, and Julie telling Drew his tank top is poppin'. In the end, Haley is the only vote to keep Chuck. Everyone else voted to evict, so by a vote of 9-1, Chuck is evicted. He doesn't give Lala a hug and departs to meet Julie. If Julie's eyelashes weren't curled before, they will be now. After Chuck worked up a sweat in that competition, he wears his hat in his interview, telling Julie he's completely shocked. She calls him out for snubbing Latrice of a hug. He says she deserved it because she snubbed him of a handshake earlier. She repeatedly tries to call him out for being rude to Latrice, which he responds by laughing hysterically, which comes across mean-spirited. Julie also is trying to hide that she's appalled when he's laughing, and she's really struggling through this interview, not even knowing what to ask. She asks him who he would target next week if he won HOH. BB28. He says he would have nominated Lala and Taylor. He gets goodbye messages, one from Lala telling him he'll be embarrassed when he sees this, and Taylor tells him he doesn't want to hear anything from anyone and that's why he's gone. He gets a sweet goodbye from his friend Haley. So we lose Chuck here, who preseason I ranked dead last in my player rankings, and at first, he was in a strong position in the game, at face value, in an alliance with the strongest physical players, teamed up with the icons. He was part of the group steamrolling the house, but he had no game himself. I can't think of one strategic original idea he had his entire stay in the house. I had him toward the bottom of my rankings throughout, back to last place last week. His game plan coming into the house was to have a showmance and team up with all the women, saying he loves women, but he showed his true colors over time, ending up not doing any of those things. In fact, he had beef and drama with only the women in the house, mainly the two older women, especially Lala. It was such a terrible look when he sat Lala down and called her dumb and confused when he himself is so dumb and confused. The gross icing on the cake was him being embarrassingly called out on the live feeds this week for not having good hygiene. Taylor telling him she could smell his privates from afar. I hope we never see this man on TV again. Challenge producers, put down your phones. Say it with me one last time, everybody. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Haley winning the Blockbuster and Chuck's eviction. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back later tonight with my week 5 player rankings. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.